Howdy folks, welcome to another Man Cave update. Today it's 3 for the price of 1. These are 3 anime related statues that I had never heard of and simply came across them at random while looking for other things on Amazon and on Google. Liked the look of and thought I'd get them anyway. The one in the middle is an elf from Lineage 2, the computer game. Other than that, I had never heard of any of the shows or movies or series upon which these figures were based. So we're going to get them opened up, have a look at them, and see what they're like. So the first one to arrive, and the one which most of you may have at least heard of, even if you're not familiar with, is this elf from the game Lineage 2, or Lineage 2. I've heard it pronounced both different ways. Very, very highly detailed model. However, it was when I was opening the box of this one and assembling the figure, because it does come in a few parts, that I began to become aware of the reason why a lot of people might think anime is very, very creepy. And I'm not just talking about the fact that she basically looks like a porn star with pointy ears. But when you've spent as much time browsing the internet as I have over the last couple of months looking for statues and collectibles, it soon becomes pretty apparent that a lot of the anime stuff is very, very overtly sexualized, which can be particularly disturbing when a lot of the figures are very childlike. And I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that this is one of the major reasons why a lot of people find anime so, creepy. This one, not so much for that reason. By anime standards, it does actually look quite adult. Now, this one shocked me for an entirely different reason, and it was when I came to unbox and assemble the thing. In order to remove all of the packing material, it was necessary to remove her skirt. Why would you be able to do that? The skirt was little more than a belt in the first place. It just... I don't know. And ironically enough, the reason I got this figure from the Lineage 2 range of characters was because this was the least obviously provocative one amongst them, so finding that little feature when I came to assemble the thing came as a bit of a surprise. But I do like the figure, at least when it's properly dressed. It's very well sculpted, it's incredibly well detailed, it's nicely posed. My one major problem with it is that the cloak at the back doesn't really attach very well, and I had to stick it in place with some milliput. But other than that, pretty happy with this purchase. So, what's next? It's difficult to introduce this one with a straight face. This one is called... It's called Panty. Yeah, I know. Never heard of the TV show upon which it's based. It's called Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. And people wonder why anime is perceived as being vaguely creepy. I've looked up the plot, and apparently they're a Panty and Stocking are a pair of angels who were kicked out of heaven for their bad behaviour, and under the guidance of the Reverend Garterbelt, I'm not making this up, they have to kill demons and collect coins to buy their way back into heaven, and their underwear transforms into weapons. So, your fairly typical anime plot, but don't really care. Never seen the show, got no interest in seeing it. I just saw the figure while I was browsing for other stuff, thought it looked as cute as all hell, and yeah, what the hell, I'll get it. And as you can see, incredibly well detailed figure. Nicely sculpted, nicely posed, and it was the facial expression, that sort of cheeky, mischievous look on the face of the thing that convinced me to buy it. So that's the first two out of the way, and the third item is the one that I am the most happy with. Once again, I am 100% unfamiliar with the history, background, story, whatever, of this character. I got it simply because I saw the statue when I was browsing for other purchases, and I thought, I've got to get this, and I am very, very happy with this purchase. Now, I've done some research since I got it, and for those of you who may care, the character's name is Saber, and she's from the... well, it started off as a graphic novel called Fate Stay Night. Yeah, probably didn't translate too well from the original Japanese. It's also been turned into a PlayStation 2 game and a game for Windows. Again, never heard of any of them. I've tried to make sense of the plot of the series from its Wikipedia entry, and even that doesn't make any sense. It's typically Japanese. But what sold me on this was, well, just look at it. This is the kind of thing that I like Much more than the other two. I mean, the other two were cute and they were fine. But this one, while it's distinctly anime, it's not as overtly sexualized as the other two are. It's cute without being creepy. I mean, you pull back for the money shot on this one, and unlike on the others, there's no visible camel toe. You know, it's entirely appropriately dressed, and I do appreciate that kind of effort and attention to detail. Speaking of which, the armour, while it is definitely fantasy armour, it does look functional at the same time, and I do like that kind of blend of fantasy and function that you get on this figure. And she's got that traditional Bishoujo style pretty young girl face, but at least she's not dressed and posed like a sex object. And finally, there is an alternative sword. I believe it's the same sword, it just transforms into something magical. I don't know. If you've read the manga or played the computer game, you'll probably know more about it than I do. So, 3 anime-inspired purchases, and I do like them all, but I am particularly impressed with Saber from Fate Stay Night. On display there in the middle of the other two. And that's it, for the moment at least, for the anime stuff. Coming up next we have Hot Toys Iron Man, Black Widow and Terminator T-800, as well as cover girls of the DC Universe, Zatanna, Mistress of Magic. All arrived today, so I've got one hell of a lot of unboxing and filming to do. Expect those to be appearing on YouTube over the course of the next week. As always folks, take care, and I'll catch you next time.